Hello, welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts, and today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making this phone stand. Now, I have seen so many comments on different forums and amongst my members where they've made these phone stands, and because it's so thin, the actual mould, it's not a deep mould, that when they've made them, they've let them cure up, then what happens is they put their phone on them and then it starts to bend. And then it's no good. And it doesn't work and it bends and bends. So I'm going to show you a way to make this phone stand using resin where it will not bend. It will work really, really well. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and ring that notification bell so you get notified when a new one comes out. And I will link everything that I use, including the mould and everything, in my description below. So if you want to make this phone stand, then you can make it really easily. So I'm going to use my three favourite colours, which is gold, red and black. So without too much further ado, let's get on. So what I'm using is, I'm using a polyurethane resin rather than an epoxy resin. And they kind of are similar, but they do have some different traits. So if you've not used it before, then read the instructions carefully. You must wear a mask when you're using this. And the other thing is, you have very little pot time, because this will be cured up within about an hour, which is great because you can demold things really, really quickly. The other thing is, just like the epoxy, you must be as accurate as possible with your measuring. Mix it, it mixes really quite quickly, probably quicker than an epoxy resin. And also, don't over mix it so it's doing it fast, because you don't want to introduce bubbles to it. Now I'm going to divide this up into 3 pots, and as you're probably noticing, this is white, but it takes a colour really, really well. You don't need to add any more mica powder than you would with a clear epoxy, and it doesn't turn things pink. So when you see I mix the red mica powder with this, it won't turn it pink. It will still stay that colour that it was originally. So just give it a quick mix. As you can see with this black here, it's mixing in and it's gone a really nice solid colour quite quickly. And it does use the metallic colours really well. Can you hear that tapping in the background? That's my dogs running around on the wooden floor. So pour it in, and one of the other things with this is, because it does cure up quite quickly, what you need to do is, if you want your pattern to go through to the bottom, then you need to not just lay the resin over the top of what you've got there, the different colours, you will need to mix it in with a stick. But I like it to have 2 different toned colours coming through, and I think it works really well. You do have a little bit more control about your colours and your patterns using a PU resin. So I'm just finishing off this. I've laid my colours down and I put my colours in there. Also, PU resin is cheaper than epoxy resin, so that's a big thing. If you can't get resin colour in America, I will link a PU resin in the description as below. So now this is all ready, I'm just going to go over it with my long neck lighter, not a torch, don't want to burn the mould, and allow that to get rid of any surface bubbles that are coming up, and then I'll put it aside and let it cure for 1 hour. The phone stand's all cured now, and it literally took about an hour to cure completely, and then I left it for a couple of hours before I'm going to demold it, and it should demold fairly easily. And that is one of the advantages of using polyurethane resin, is that it cures up really quickly. But the disadvantage is you get a very short pot time. So you need to mix it and then cast it. And as you can see, it's nice and sturdy. And the great thing is, this isn't going to bend. And I've got a kind of like a 2-sided effect here. I really love that effect. It reminds me of the old walnut dashboards in old cars. Probably not the same colours, but there we go. I can have it that way round, so it's that colour all the while, or I can have it that way round, so it's that colour. But the great thing about it is, it's not going to bend and warp with your phone on it. So there we go, that's with my phone on it, and that isn't going to bend or warp when the phone gets warm, and if it's charging and things like that, and it's going to stay there. And the other thing is, it's strong enough to use your iPad with it as well. So you can use it there like that with your iPad, and it is really useful for that. Great little stand, but PU or polyurethane resin is definitely the way to go, I think, with something like this, where you do need that added strength. And also, when you want to use it really quickly and you haven't got to wait all that time for the epoxy to cure. I hope you found this useful. Don't forget, let me know in the comments what you think, and if you've used polyurethane resin before. It's very different to polyester resin. Be sure to check out the video that I've got coming up at the end. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring my little bell so you get notifications when my next video is coming out. And also, if you'd like to buy me a coffee, then the link for that is in the description, and it's really, really welcome, especially at the moment. Or if you'd like to become a member and enjoy all the benefits and perks of the membership, there's quite a nice number of members now. We have a great little community. Then the link to that is in the description below as well. Take care, enjoy your resin, bye.